Hey everyone, we're Team. This is our ENG6 audio sampler project. My name is Elliot, and I did the loading function and the play pause section of the GUI for the project.
My name is Brooke, and I did the equalizer and filtering functions of the project.
My name is Jacob, and I did the analysis and the special effects part of the project.
Okay. So here's the code here, and as you can see, when we click run, the figure pops up. This is the GUI that we used. And so this whole left section here is the part that I programmed, and you just have to click load song 1, and it'll take you to your own computer files, where you just have to click on a file, make sure it's a WAV file so that it can load properly, because that's what the code is programmed for. You click open, and you can see that the song name along with where it's stored in your computer will pop up here next to song 1, and then you can click play on the song and it will play the song. You can, there we go, it's kind of quiet. You can pause, and then you can load song 2, and this will load it into the second song. So you can pause the first one, and you can see all of them have different play, pause, and stop buttons for each of the songs. So that's the second song. You can pause it and then play it again. And if you press stop, then it'll take you back to the beginning of the song, where you can click play again, and it'll start from the beginning rather than just pausing it where it is. And you can load up to 3 songs into this, so you can load a different one here, and then play this one, and pause it and stop it and do all of that. And then when you want to move on to the analysis section of the code, then you just have to go to the drop down menu here and click song 1, song 2, or song 3, and then that will allow you to that'll load that song into the analysis section of the code. So as you can see on board lines, this is just at the top is sort of the sections that everyone did. So my part of the code is just the loading part and the play pause part of the code. It's probably the basic part that sort of just lays out everything else for the rest of the code, which is the trickier stuff, which I think Jacob should be able to talk you through now.
Alright, for my part of the code, I did the analysis and the special effects, and I'll show you my code here. For the pop-up, we basically just got the amplitude and the sample frequency from the pop-down menu for what song we're choosing to, of course, analyze. And then what we did is we just plotted amplitude versus time, and then amplitude versus frequency. I'll show you that here. So say we load a song, and then we choose to analyze song 1. We get the amplitude versus frequency graph, the amplitude versus time graph there, and then the amplitude versus frequency graph here. And then for special effects, we did reversal and slowdown. So here's the reversal. You'll see that the amplitude goes backwards, and I did that just flipping the array left to right. And then we also have the slowdown function, which you can see here. Analyze it. So here's this, and then when you notice you press slow down, the time and the frequency is altered, which will effectively slow down the code. And I'll hand it over to Brooke for the frequency.
Alright. So I did the frequency filter functions and the equalizer, and the sliders, once you adjust them, you can So, you can see here that once you adjust all of these sliders, it will give you a graph here with all of the different magnitude adjustments on each part of the normalized frequency of the song. And then once we look into the code, I split the frequency into 10 different parts. I used a low-pass filter, 8 bandpass filters, and a high-pass filter. Let's see. So these are all loaded underneath each slider. Because each part of the split up frequency is altered by each slider. And we plotted them using FV tool. So then at the very end, we're able to adjust the sliders and the filtered song, or the filter graph is able to reflect those adjustments from -20 to 20. And up here on the board, I split up, I showed you a visual of splitting up the frequency into 10 different parts using 1 low pass, 1 high pass, and 8 band pass filters. And yeah. I'm not sure how to go back to